Hey, golfers, some golf seasons are wrapping up and the holiday season is right around the corner. You know what that means? You guessed it. Awkward holiday work parties. Avoid the terrible Yankee swap gifts. Bring a pack of true classic polos. Show up late so you get the last pick and you can take your own gift home, just like I do every single year. You get some of the softest polos on the market. Your coworkers think you are a team player, and you can save 25% off plus free shipping using the promo code OTS Golf at trueclassictees.com. Win, win, win. Stay vigilant at those holiday work parties, my friends. Enjoy the episode.
3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2, 1 putt, par 4, birdie, woohoo, new driver, info, replace, M2, par 5, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, it drew, shoot and make Gavin.
Wave golf. A familiar face. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Good, man. So good. Everybody, or if anybody's been listening to podcasts for a while, you know we've connected with Mark. We're friends. We've Mark's done a little editing with us. We've had you on the pod in the past with the when we had Bradley Kruger and EJ and Ryder on and stuff. Those guys that do all the good stuff. And yeah, so Mark did a little bit of editing with us, and he's got his own company. So we were talking recently. You guys had like a new drop and stuff, and we said we got to get you on. So I've been driving for like the last 12 hours. I know Mark's been on a plane for the last little while and waiting in an airport and stuff. So we're gonna get through it though. It feels like a late Sunday night for me, but I think it's Tuesday. So what's up, Bryce? How are you doing?
Good. Just spent about 50 minutes trying to figure out my Hulu account to get ESPN Live hooked up, and just finally got it. So we got the Leafs rolling, and we're good to go.
Nice. I like it. If you're not watching us over on YouTube, this is a great opportunity too, because Bryce is wearing a great color. We won't talk about it, but if you want to check it out, go over and On the Screws podcast over on YouTube, and you'll see him. Great color. Looks beautiful, Bryce. So
Like
Mark,
my pretty face.
Mark, anybody who might not know you can, if they're watching us over on YouTube, they'll have a pretty good idea by now who you are. But maybe just give us a quick little intro for anybody who hasn't caught any of our stuff in the past.
Yeah. So yeah, first of all, thanks for having me, guys. I miss talking to you guys all the time. It feels like it's probably been a good couple months since we fully caught up. So this is I've been looking forward to this for a while. To talk about myself. Wow. So yeah, as you guys know, co-founder of Wave Golf Company. We're a brand based out of St. John's, Newfoundland, and here in Toronto, Ontario, where I currently live. I'm an entrepreneur, so I spend my full days working on Wave Golf Company, trying to grow it into the biggest vision of what I've always had in mind. And outside of that, big sports guy, obviously. Love golf, love hockey. Worked in baseball for a couple of years on the professional level, so that was really cool to kind of get that under my belt. And yeah, now just kind of full-time entrepreneur. It's wacky, man. Like, I'll be honest, it's a totally new lifestyle and something definitely that's taken some getting used to. Just kind of honing my craft and working by myself 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. So yeah, circling back, guys, thanks for having me. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
All right. Well, thanks. That's pretty much everything we need to know, Mark. That's pretty good.
Thanks for having me.
This is a solo mission you're running now on your own.
Yeah. So that's some pretty new news. I was out in Newfoundland this past weekend and had the pleasure of spending it with my co-founder Josh, and he's actually decided to take a step back from Wave Golf Company, and he's transferred his ownership rights over to me. So it's a solo mission, as you said. It's definitely not one of those like good situations they got going on right now where there's like some beef and everyone wants the tea. Josh is a full-time pharmacist, for anybody who doesn't know him or know what he does, and he's working like 70-80 hours a week. So it's just been a wild ride for him trying to balance both, and we had a great talk over the weekend and crossed our T's, dotted our I's, and yeah, it's a solo mission now, man. I'm really excited, but I'm definitely going to miss Josh. He's a great best friend and a great co-founder. So he'll always have a place in Wave's heart, but yeah, solo mission. So
you guys like kind of started up in like, it was kind of like a COVID thing, right? Like something to do during like a COVID mission?
Yeah, it started, Wave started kind of as an idea that I had. I worked for Shopify. I had the pleasure of working there for 10 years. once back in 2017, where I started a small business called Pond Hockey Season. It was a apparel company for just hockey players and people who love the outdoors. And then, yeah, this was a pre-COVID idea that kind of got put on the shelf for a while just because of all the lockdowns and all of the interference there. But yeah, when it came time to do it and I was working at Shopify again and the stars were aligning that way, I got in touch with Josh, who has always kind of been on the same page. He's a real business guy, and he just loves that kind of lifestyle. So yeah, it was a pre-COVID mission that turned into, it feels like forever ago now, but we're going on almost 1.5 years of running it. So it's just been a wild ride, man. And it's just been so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the pod here, Bryce. We've been going like 2 years now. Steady. 111 straight Fridays.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to pop in a question kind of relating to that. I kind of remember back when you guys were still pretty only had a few products in the line, and I see behind you there you got a few different hat designs that I haven't seen. So
Yeah.
you want to just kind of go over what you guys offer as a company and kind of like the designs you strive for and the look, I guess.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
your apparel.
that's yeah, I'll definitely go through that for you. So what you see behind me right now is our most recent line. This is the Classics Volume 2. It's our 4th drop that we've had. We started with the Storm line in 2021, and then we went to Storm Volume 2. And then earlier this year, we introduced the Classics Volume 1, and then this is the Classics Volume 2. So right now it's predominantly headwear. It's something that Josh and I always bonded over was hats. Like, I don't know about you guys, I'm sure you have a mass collection similar to the likes of like Mac Boucher and stuff, just hats everywhere. So when we came time to start the business, hats were at the focal point. That's something that we kind of want to keep at the top of what we sell. And then in addition to that, I don't have anything directly on me. Actually, I do. Just we got some nice pullovers going now in the Classics line. So we're trying to push more of the apparel side as well. But yeah, it's just been too much fun, man. Like I said, I love hats. I love designing, and when the stars aligned to make this drop, just took a cool couple concepts that I had begin to see and love in the apparel world, and yeah, just turned it into what you see behind me. But yeah, in summary, Classics Volume 2 is essentially just those hats and some pullovers. But it's been a blast, man.
Mark,
Yeah, if you guys are just listening, make sure you go over to YouTube and check them out so you can actually see Mark and showing off the hats here because they're really good looking. I think I have the second drop from you guys here. Third,
yep.
Second?
So you would have had the second drop.
The second drop. So
yeah, we're due to hook you guys up some stuff. I think there's a Christmas box with your name on it around here somewhere, but I'll let Santa deliver that one. Yeah.
Thank you, Santa. Thank you. Yeah. Now you do all the designs yourself, Mark.
Yeah, so that's something that's one of my favorite parts about, I guess, running the brand is doing as much of it as I can myself. Just trying to learn different skills and crafts. Like, just for example, like sewing was something that I don't even think I ever thought I would learn how to sew, but now it's something that I've taught myself how to do. And yeah, it can be a real buster sometimes, but it's just an example of one of the many things that kind of makes this different. I think if I was handing a lot more stuff off to people, maybe like third parties and manufacturers, I don't think it would feel kind of as big of a passion project as it's become. So yeah, in terms of the design and stuff, yeah, I do all the graphics, do all the pressing, sewing, designs for everything, and yeah, the website, just it's so much fun.
Why Wave? How'd you guys come up with that one?
Yeah, that's actually that's a good story. So
I don't know if I've ever actually heard this story. So
I have not. If I have,
okay.
like I've been in a car, like I said, 12 hours. I don't remember it right now, so this is fresh. So
I don't know if I've heard it. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
Why Wave?
No, that's totally okay. Yeah, that's a great story. Actually, has a kind of a cool story behind it. So Josh and I grew up together. We've known each other since we're about, we've known each other 20 years. So we met when we were 9. And yeah, we were just playing baseball together. And at the time, obviously big sports guys, and we loved our baseball team name, and it was the Markham Mariners. I grew up in Markham, just north of Toronto here. I'm sure you guys are familiar, just being in the GTA. Played competitive baseball for years with Josh, and when it came time for this company, it just kind of clicked. It combined our love for the water and the coast with just it had that like personal connection to us, and it just seemed so great. It seemed too perfect. We were making all of our social medias and our logos. We had someone design a logo for us, and we really liked it. We had some apparel made, some samples, and then one night during COVID, I was browsing on Instagram around, God knows, 3 or 4 a.m. and came across Mariner Golf Company. And sure enough, I guess just somebody else with the same idea somewhere out there just had beaten us to it, and messaged Josh, and he woke up in the morning and we were pretty upset about it. But yeah, when it came down to switch, we made a short list. I mentioned wanting to include like the aquatic, water, coastal side of it. And then, yeah, Wave was born. And to be honest, like I loved the attachment to Mariner Golf Company, and I loved that idea. But I don't think it could have worked out any better just with how it kind of came together. I wouldn't have changed that. So yeah, that's kind of the long ramble version of it. But yeah, that's kind of how Wave was born. So
Mac here for Manscaped. The holiday season is fast approaching, and that means Santa is coming to visit. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Head over to manscaped.com, pick up a Lawnmower 4.0, and keep your jingle balls ready for the holidays. Using the promo code OTSGolf, you'll get 20% off plus free shipping. Santa will bring that right to your door. Manscaped.com, OTSGolf, 20% off plus free shipping. Enjoy the holidays.
Being involved in the baseball atmosphere kind of helped your love for hats, because I know baseball and hats kind of go hand in hand. Well, in my opinion, anyways, I like to consider myself sort of a hat guy. Not like you said, I have my whole stack of God knows what. But do you think that triggered a bit of your hat love, I guess?
yeah, I would definitely say it did, man. I think just the fact that I always had to have one on was probably the main thing. I think it just became such a big part of who I was. Like, and then yeah, over COVID, just always wearing a hat, like growing the hair out. Still, I cut mine right off. But yeah, it's something that has always been a part of my life. I think I've probably spent more of my life with the hat on than I have off. And yeah, baseball was probably another big reason why that was, when it came time to make an apparel company, that's what I wanted to do. So yeah.
When you say, Mark, that you worked in pro baseball, what did you do?
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of working part-time and full-time with the Toronto Blue Jays for a couple of years.
Nice.
And yeah, working in marketing there. And yeah, definitely it scratched an itch. It was always, I went to school for sport business. That was probably what I always thought was the be all end all for me. Like I got injured playing baseball at a really young age, and not that it really would have gone anywhere, but it really did sting at that time. I'm sure, like with hockey for you, Bryce, injuries, you know what that's like, and Mac golf and stuff too. It's just like when that happens, it really does shake you. And I think then my focus shifted over as like an early adult into wanting to work in professional sport. And yeah, the Jays came calling during my first tenure with Shopify. So that's why I worked 2 tenures with Shopify, because I had to up and leave that job, which I also did really like, to go work my dream job. But yeah, it did scratch an itch. Looking back on it now, it was a great learning experience. Obviously tons of perks, and like tons of cool people that I'm around on a daily basis. But yeah, just when it came time to working like 100-hour baseball summer weeks, it was exhausting, man. Every day felt like I spent 7 hours in an airport just lying on the ground. So yeah, that's kind of the ramble version of it. But yeah, the Jays was a cool part of my life, and I'm glad I got to do it. So
speaking of spending your work day in an airport, what's a work day looking like for you now at Wave Golf?
Yeah, that's I don't think one day would be the same, so I'll try and summarize.
Hold on, that might be our best segue in 111 episodes, Bryce.
You like
that was so good.
That's right.
Damn, I'm sorry to cut you off, Mark. That was so clean. Damn. Okay. All right.
I've been practicing, man.
Yeah, that was solid. I like that. Okay.
We're over 100 episodes now. I gotta bring my A game.
So I mean, 111 episodes in, and we just nailed it. That was the best one yet. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
I miss listening to you guys banter when I'm editing your footage. No, I've kind of lost my train of thought. So what were we talking about?
I said just day in a life of kind of like what you're doing when you're working. And
yes. So I'm living down here in my little 1-bedroom house here in downtown Toronto. And yeah, no day looks the same, man. I try and get out of the house as much as possible, just because I spend so much time in this little 12 by 12 that you kind of see me in here. But yeah, every day is a combination of on the Wave side of things, like managing the team of athletes, like whether something's going on from a promotional perspective or getting in touch with them for shots for a new line or just anything wave pack related. Usually handle that first and foremost, kind of get those words out early so I'm not delaying anybody's day, I guess, like pushing anybody else back. Try and go hit some balls as much as possible. That's become more of a thing now that the sims are open. And then, yeah, man, just like on a good day, packing orders if it's been plentiful. Designing all the graphics, like I try and plan at least a week ahead in terms of what I'm going to post and what's going to be posted. So it's a lot of time on Canva. Shout out to Canva with Mac. I miss those days, man. And yeah, it's just every day is different, to be honest, man. It's like no day's the same, but it's a combination of all these things that like don't even feel like I'm working. So
yeah,
at the end of 12 hours,
I think that's where you've that's kind of big in the game you're in. If you don't enjoy it, it's so tough to succeed. So it's so good that you're doing something you love, and clearly it's showing because you're taking off and doing well for yourself.
Thank you, man.
So
you wanted to
thank you guys.
Do you want to expand? Like, you want to get into like future gear and stuff like that? I know you say a couple like a couple crews, and I know Bryce and I have a crew from the past. The second drop we got the hats as well. Like, you wanted to expand. You want to do you see like a vision for Wave in the future? Do you see it becoming like maybe like a lifestyle brand, or you want to stick with golf, or is there any space that you want to bring this into?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was actually doing a lot of thinking about this yesterday during my commute. Yeah, I guess like without saying too much and like giving away kind of what I want to sort of keep a secret, I do have visions of taking it to bigger than golf. I've really fallen in love with brands that do a little bit of everything, like Roback, for example, down in the States, or like Seven Diamonds. You see Mac wearing those guys, and they're not like specifically golf, but they're stuff that you can wear on the course. And I love that. I think that's kind of where you're going to see more of the company go without saying too much. And I was listening to your episode with Keaton and just how you talked about kind of the transition between the traditional looks that we're starting to lose on the golf course. And hopefully, I say hopefully because it's my industry and I really want it to succeed, but break out of, and you're going to see more casual stuff. So yeah, like I do have plans. I'll tell you guys to like maybe incorporate some like workout gear into it. Like Wave Athletics is something that has been on my mind, as opposed to just Wave Golf Company, and then having like branches of it. But yeah, man, I think it's about, like, for me right now, it's about surrounding myself with as many people that kind of have this common vision. And I've talked about like the Wave Pack a little bit, and those guys, and like those people, and like people like you guys, and so many people like you mentioned, like Bradley Kruger, like Lucas, all those guys, like that just make this job what it is. So yeah, I think there's going to be those kinds of people in like every sport, and I do see it kind of branching out and becoming more of an athletic brand than just golf. So
the Wave Pack right now, what is the Wave Pack, and who do we have in it right now?
Yeah, so the Wave Pack is our team of athletes. Every one of our athletes is currently in like a verbal agreement. It's really just, it's nothing on paper yet. We're not fully at that stage where we're like signing people and
I don't know, man. I saw Lucas signing. Lucas was signing like a fake contract the one day. I saw that.
Yeah, we like to have fun. I mean, Canada's a dangerous place, and when I'm packing orders, sometimes little jokes like that just slip in. But no, it's the Wave Pack is made up of 4 athletes right now. And these people are just people that have been so kind to us and offering to wear us stuff. And then in return, we kind of broadcast and focus on their journeys, whether it's golf or whether it's more of like the influencer side of things, or they all have different kind of paths, and that's what makes it so exciting. So right now, obviously you guys know like Lucas Nonni and Mac Boucher. Those guys are have been members of the pack for a while. And yeah, they were the first 2, and they have done so much for us. Like, I can't speak to how much that has made a difference in my life, just taking that, because I think the main thing is like working out of Toronto has been difficult because I don't have that exposure to like the coast or anything of that nature where I can go out and take a photo shoot on like a lake of water, you know? So with people like Lucas and Mac, like bringing what they do on a like media level, it's helped the company so much. And then the last 2 that we've added recently, or sort of recently, finally Sarah. She's our only female golfer at the time, or at the moment, but she lives down in Arizona, and she's playing some college golf right now. She actually reached out to us when we first started, and we had a great conversation. Became really good friends before we even invited her. And yeah, her attitude and her personality is what makes her what she is. And yeah, and the last one, Darian McFadden, he's actually my golf coach's son. So that's how we met. He runs, my golf coach runs a business out of Markham, like where I grew up, and teaches golf there. Got to know him, and then got to know his son, who's doing some mini tours and stuff right now, trying to pursue pro golf. So yeah, that's the four of them. And yeah, like I said, the main thing is their exposure for us has helped us grow so much. So their personalities and what they do has just been a game changer.
You know, like Lucas has like some of the, well, obviously Mac has one of the biggest social media platforms in golf. Like I think pretty confidently say that.
Arguably, yeah.
Yeah, like especially from like the content space, right? Like I think he's over a couple 100,000 or so now. So Lucas too has probably like some of the best videos too. Like I know Rachel gets behind the camera and stuff like that, and there's some good editing going on there too with Lucas. So he puts together some really cool stuff. I had the chance to meet Lucas. I had the chance to bring some stuff out to Lucas, which was really cool. So, like the hats so much, but I still passed them along. I thought about keeping them in my luggage, but I did not. But yeah, like it's kind of cool that you're able to sort of connect with so many people in so many different ways. And then, you know, the idea is that they all have like the same vision and they kind of want to like support you. And, you know, if they can wear the gear, they can wear the gear. Right. So, something we asked, I know, one of the guys in the past who's been on the pod, Keaton's worn your warrior hat a couple times. We noticed. I think he actually had it on during our pod. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
We got talking about like with him. I know he's kind of into fashion, kind of collabing and stuff like that. If there was any, and I know Mark that you're a pretty fashionable guy yourself. If there's any brand out there like that you would be interested in collaborating with, doesn't have to be like a golf specific brand. It could be like probably not Balenciaga, but you know, just about anything else right now.
Oh man, that's a great question. Well, I know there's this podcast, OTS Golf, that has this like killer line out right now. They dropped some really nice merch. Picked up one of their hoodies, and I just haven't taken it off. Besides,
they're actually comfy.
Yeah,
not even based
right
around tires. They're comfy.
Go to OTS Golf
comfy
right now.
Yeah,
and
nice.
There's no like, I don't have any codes for you because I don't really know how to do the site. So I got to talk to Mark about it a little bit more. We got to pick your brain a little bit more, but the merch is tough. So if you do it, yeah, just there's no codes or anything, but we keep it as cheap as we possibly can. But it's sweet stuff. It's good stuff, man. Really good.
Yeah, no, it's great stuff. No, yeah, I'm just circling back. We should definitely collab at some point. That's been on our radar, Mac. We've definitely talked about that.
That was part two.
But yeah,
part two to that question.
Oh, that was part two of that question.
So we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of brands, man, like obviously there's some really great brands, like I mentioned, like that I would love to do some work with, whether it would be maybe working on like a hat with them. For me, like right now, I see the company also having a side of it that does collabs with athletes. And you've seen Mac has done some collabs with some of his friends who have companies and put out things like the Slingers hoodie and the Lefty Golf Gang hat. And I see Wave doing a lot of stuff like that. Like as much as I would love to collab with like a big brand, I think the if you can do something for like an influencer, an athlete who maybe doesn't have the resources or the tools to do it for themselves, but like loves that fashion side of things, like a Keaton, that's kind of where I see things headed. And just with the skills of like sewing and like pressing, and bought this little like Cricut machine, which is an absolute wizard. I'm not sure if you guys know what those are.
Oh yeah, I got two of them right here beside me.
Amazing. So yeah, that's helped the kind of the ideas, I guess, flow a little more steadily, is having these like new options to make things more creative and stuff. So to answer your question, probably like, yeah, there's a ton of brands that I mentioned, like Seven Diamonds, Stony Wilds, they're a couple. Like I love those guys, and they're like the friendliest humans. Like you message any of them, even as a clothing brand, and they reply to you and they want to chat. So yeah, but in terms of it, I think it's more going to be tailored towards collabs with athletes, and I think that would be something that would be really cool, and it could really bring out that custom side of themselves that they might not know yet. So
does Mac have a logo by any chance, like a personal logo? I'm not sure. I don't know this. I'm asking you guys.
He I think he has Lefty Golf Gang. I don't think it's like a fully established something that he does on a regular basis. Okay. And when things come out that he wants to do, he'll release it under that. Okay. And yeah, no, that would be a question maybe next time he's on the pod, just because I think he's a kind of guy, like he's like Keaton, he's got that fashion sense. He might be one of the biggest in the whole internet space in terms of fashion. But yeah, it's inspiring to see these guys that have these cool fashion senses, because it helps me as a entrepreneur and that kind of like that behind the scenes kind of guy get these ideas. And yeah, just the coolest people. So
any like companies or anything that you kind of draw a vision from, Mark, like anything that you can think of that you see and maybe you'll kind of like write it down in your notebook, put a note in your phone or something like that. Do you have any like common, any common denominators of something that you kind of come across and you think, okay, like I want to like incorporate something like that into the brand?
yeah, in terms of like actual companies, honestly, Good has been like, they've been pumping out some really cool stuff for a while now, and I've kind of seen their like merch work in two tiers. Like they had that stuff at the beginning when they hadn't dropped this full website, this full line yet, and it was good stuff. And then this next level they've taken has just been inspiring to see the kind of the ideas that they're pumping out. And yeah, I think Good would be the major one. But then there's also brands like Malbin, Birds of Condor out of Australia. There, like those are the kind of like more lifestyle. I'm not sure if there's another word I'm looking for, but the lifestyle brands that I kind of like center the vision around, I guess.
Like streetwear, and, like a bit more like streetwear, yeah.
Like this kind of thing. Like this is a Birds of Condor hat, and it's like a No Shanks logo, and I just think those ideas are so cool. And like I love golf, I love traditionality, about golf, but I just think there's like a personal expression that you can have, and those brands like jump out at me as the people that do that the best, or with the most oomph.
Yeah, I don't know, like anything that I've kind of put together. I don't know if I've ever like seen a vision for anything necessarily, but I just kind of like, I just as I'm like at work or whatever, just kind of like do my own thing. If I'm traveling, whatever it is, I'll like write down a note the odd time, and I'll like just draw it in my phone. That's how I kind of came up with like the golf line or just a bogey line, right? Because like I'm just out there making a bunch of bogeys all the time, so just a nice little subtle bogey. And like I remember I posted that, and like a few people actually really liked that sweater, really liked that idea. So like designing that stuff is really cool. I wouldn't say I have that much of a design sense or that much of like a design background at all. But it is like fascinating to me, and it's like really cool to learn and kind of develop those things. It's just really, really time consuming. So I'm glad that you're able to kind of take that time now and really focus that into Wave and kind of build it to where it is that you want to see it go. Other brands, Mark, anything like locally that you're kind of checking out that you're seeing pop up, like in like I focus a little bit on the Toronto area. Brycer's from this area, he's out in Michigan now. But we'd like to, kind of connect as much as we can. I know you're always kind of collabing with other brands and stuff like that as well. Anything on your radar?
Yeah, no, one comes to mind. So I have a friend from elementary school, and then a friend from high school. They're partners, Jordan and Justin, and they're out of Toronto. And they just started this amazing brand called Out of Bounds Golf. The handle here, I have it here, is shopoutofbounds.ca if anyone wants to check it out. And they're kind of like got that like snowman vibe to them. They've got those like kind of exotic shirts, very like full wedge-esque. And yeah, they got some really nice belts. And yeah, they're just the best guys. So yeah, would love to give them a plug just because they're very up and coming. They've got big things in their future. And again, we always go back to the kind of people in this golf community that we all know, and they're the kind of people that are going to fit in seamlessly because they're just great guys. So shout out Jordan and Justin from Out of Bounds. And yeah, off the top of my head, man, I feel like I've probably run through all my favorite brands so far, but yeah, these people are what keep me inspired. And yeah, I love supporting other people just as much as they support me. So
they got like an IG page going or anything like that we can go check out?
Yeah, I'll definitely maybe I'll send it over to you after because I don't have the top of my head, and you can throw it in the description there, Macker. But yeah, they're awesome guys.
Yeah, we might have to get them on the pod or something like that. We always love kind of featuring new brands and stuff like that. I know you guys have been around a little while, you're established, that kind of thing, but it's always kind of nice to and sometimes people think it's like we had a recent podcast with Safe Bar Golf, so they have like a massive Instagram following, like 150,000 followers or something like that. I don't know what it is. So and then they have a podcast that kind of like is linked to that on the side, and like we think it's a great opportunity to link with another podcast, right? And kind of like talk, and like we ended up talking about tacos and like a bunch of just random stuff. It had nothing to do with golf really for the most part. And then yeah, it's kind of just cool to like connect, and I'm sure that's what you're trying to do with other brands. Like there's enough people out there that are interested in the golf space, that are interested in supporting the community, that are interested in checking out new gear and stuff like that, that it doesn't like it's not going to take away from you, right? It's only going to help grow
No.
your following if you're kind of connecting with a different brand as well, right? So
That's very much, yeah, that's very true.
and that's kind of how you got to look at it. That's pretty much it. But yeah, so anybody who wants to go over and check out, can you drop kind of some of your socials, Mark? And I'll go ahead. I'll put them in this description as well. But can you kind of
Yeah.
just say them as anybody who's kind of listening on Spotify or Apple, any of those spots as well?
Yeah, well, for anybody who's made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I've never done one of these things before, and it's been a pleasure. But yeah, so we're on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us Wave Golf Company, all one word, and then www.wavegolfcompany on the internet. And other than that, we haven't really expanded into any other spaces. I think TikTok is Bryce. You're a TikTok star, eh? Maybe I'll get in touch with you, but. Yeah, we're looking to expand our TikTok and get that on the go. But yeah, I think that's just the way the world is trending. Like I'm not one to get lost in the sauce when it comes to like the reels and stuff like that, but it is really becoming like the main way that people are connecting and people are getting their messages across. And yeah, so yeah, I guess TikTok to come, but for now, those are the main three where you can find us. And
yeah, when you have a movie star face like this, the views just start pouring in. It's just the way it goes.
Bryce got a reel with like 500,000 views floating around there where he just ripped like duck hooks.
Rip one OB, just duck hook left.
Yeah, and like we only get, I don't know, there's probably a 60, 70, 80 comments, something like that. Only 2 people like mentioned that he like ripped it to the right too. Like, oh, that's totally in the woods or whatever. Like, of course it is, man. You can go back and watch the video that I posted before with like all the steps of how it went. But yeah, Bryce is a star, man. Bryce.
Do I even have a TikTok video? Oh yeah, I have one.
Yeah,
I have one TikTok
there
video.
you go. I know, like we talked about a TikTok and stuff like that. I'm too old for that. Bryce might take over TikTok. He might do something like that one day. I know.
I'm good with technology, but like I don't know how to make TikToks really. Like, I mean, I know like the basics, but like some people are wicked at it. Like get some crazy videos going. So I'm not there yet. I think we need to get Blaker on the TikTok. He knows how to do all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we he'll get out there like chirping people and stuff though on there. Maybe it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, he would make it.
At least
he would make OTS look real bad. Yeah.
But Blaker's like a +4.5, so at least he can back it up, right? If somebody's like, getting at him about like golf content, there's a good chance they're not better than him. So, but yeah, maybe we get Blaker in some of these wave hats. He would, he's got a pretty big melon. He would look pretty good in these things.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you the comments on my
No, we're not getting into that crap right now. Come on.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Let's save that for the sequel when I come back in a year.
It's hilarious.
But Mark, man, this was great. Anybody who wants to go over and check out Wave Golf Company, we got the links in the description below. Definitely go over, support the brand, just like Mark does for us. If you're watching over on YouTube, he's got our towel draped over the bag there. That's a really old logo, but that's the only towel drop we did. It was pretty solid. But over his right shoulder, if you're looking, or left, if you're looking at the screen, you can see a lot of their new lineup and stuff. It's really, really sweet, man. So yeah, if you want to go check it out, links in the description below. Mark's a great guy, good company, really good opportunity. If you know any like young athletes or anything like that who kind of come up, reach out to Mark and maybe get involved. Really, I don't know. We appreciate what you're doing for the golf community, Mark. This has kind of been our thing, why we've started up the pod, why we've gotten it to this point. So it's always cool to see people with that same vision. And yeah, maybe an incoming collab. I think there might be something coming around Father's Day, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a double bogey line comes out soon, and that speaks more my language. So, or a 3-putter line or something.
Yeah,
that's my language.
Yeah, I like that. So let's not give it away. But maybe when a couple of new drops come, or you get, I know you got something in the works with some expansion, some new athletes, stuff like that. Let's get you back on. We'll have a chat again. This was a lot of fun, man. It just floats organically. Like anybody who we mentioned earlier, Mark and I have been friends and Bryce for a little while, so we've done some editing and stuff. So it's kind of cool to almost like a catch-up pod. So we appreciate you guys listening. Go check out Wave Golf. It's wavegolfcompany.com. You said, right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Go over and check it out. Mark, really appreciate this, man.
Yeah, Mac, Bryce, thanks guys. This was awesome.
Is out in my ball in the course where I tee up. I lose a ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross.